Hey everybody, how you doing out there? Vaughn here, creator of comics, teller of stories, the guy you want to listen to because I'm going to give you some damn good advice. And today we're going over log lines today. Log lines. What the hell is a log line? And why is it important? Why do I need to learn it for my stories or to help sell my stories? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you. Log lines are an art form by which you sell your script. That's really the real invention of them. They're a way in which you can really quickly, concisely tell what your story is about to like a producer or to somebody, and then maybe they'll want to read your script or maybe they'll want to learn more about it and ask for a synopsis. So, what is a log line? Well, when you look up log lines, you'll see people just say they're a 1 to 2 sentence at most compact telling of what your story is, who the hero is, what the conflict is, what happens if they don't get what they want. And people give you a really simple definition online. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that's a good enough definition. I don't think that puts people in the right mindset to write the best log lines they can. I think that part of the definition should also be that it is a way in which to hook or sell your readers a script. So what ends up happening is you want to entertain a little bit with it, or at least have that kind of hook. It's about getting your script further. It's about being able to really concisely sell someone on your story in just 1 or 2 sentences. And that sounds easy because it's just 1 or 2 sentences, but it is not. It is an art form. It is an art form that I have studied for years. And as you can see here, I have log lines brought up for a project that I'm going to be releasing in campaign form this year. I haven't done any big announcement of it yet, but I just figured this would be a good example because I'm currently been working on the log lines for this. Okay, it's called Rerun Man, and you guys are going to freaking love it. Actually, I did announce it in the my big email from Rising in Comics. So if you're signed up with us on our mailing list on our website, you got a little update about Rerun Man. Rerun Man is we're going to go over what the story is about. But this is how I craft log lines. And as you can see, I have a bunch of different log lines here. There's a bunch of them. What's going on here? What is the art of it? Okay. Usually the log line is going to have your hero, your villain, or your conflict for the hero. And I think the part that they always leave out when they talk about them, like I already said, you want to present it in an interesting, engaging way that makes people go, interesting concept. I want to learn more. So for Rerun Man, I wrote logline, but then I wrote what my influences were for Rerun Man, an old movie that almost nobody knows about or cares about called Dead Heat, which I like. The Revenant, which is not the DiCaprio getting raped by a bear Revenant. No, this is the other Revenant that came out before, which has to do with zombification and it's kind of more vampire-y meets zombies. It's really great and it's funny and it's dark. You should watch it. It's amazing. And then we've got Zombie Man from One Punch Man is a character that I love, is my favorite character in One Punch Man. And he influenced this book. And of course, The Crow by J.O. Barr, a classic undead comes back for revenge story. And then Drive 2011. Not everyone saw that. Ryan Reynolds, a lot of cool 80s style synthy music, a lot of neon, whatever. Who cares? These are just my influences. These are not necessarily your log line. This is just stuff I put here to remind myself, keep myself focused on what I'm doing. And I thought it might help me with my log line. It doesn't really. Log lines are more of an art that you have to just do and do and do. And as you can see, I have many drafts here for my log line. Okay, so let's read them. Let's read them through. You're going to hear what Rerun Man is about in all these different ways with all these different crazy log lines I've been doing. Okay, here we go. Let's do this. Okay, the first log line I did was this. A washed up ex-child star takes a shot at revival, only to be turned into a zombie slave, tortured by the elite Hollywood coven for decades, until a deal with the zombie queen breaks his trance, and he comes for payback, undead style. Not bad, not bad. What's good about it is it has some cool stuff in it. I don't feel like the language is active enough. I think with a good log line, you want really active language. You want to really hook them. I don't know that this necessarily hooks enough. So then I end up doing another one right after. You can see right here. An ex movie star is zombified and abused by powerful Hollywood witches, only to be woken up by the zombie queen and escapes to get his revenge, undead style. That's all right. It's okay. Yeah. Let's try again. Now I have an even longer one. And notice how some of them are just one sentence and other ones are two sentences. This one looks like it's definitely going to be two sentences. And remember, guys, two sentences max. All right. Now listen to this one. An ex child star druggy actor thinks he's found the role to revive his career from the dead. Nice and metaphoric there. But it's a trap that turns him into a mindless zombie slave, tortured by the elites of Hollywood for decades. That's sentence one. After striking a deal to regain consciousness with the zombie queen, he becomes Hollywood's boogeyman, out for bloody revenge, undead style. All right. Not bad. A little too lengthy, a little too wordy, I would say. You have to understand, guys. Think of your log line as power that lets you just tell what your story is in one sentence, and somebody's going to want to hear more about it or read it or buy it. Okay. Think of it, and the way to get to that power is you have to try a lot of different things. You got to carve out a log line. So what you're going to see here is I actually start taking things from these three log lines that I just read you, and I start putting them into other log lines. You take what works, throw out what doesn't, and you start combining, right? So you're doing drafts of log lines. And I think that's healthy to do. I don't think the first log line you're going to come up with is going to necessarily be the best one. You have to do drafts of them. You have to make them work. Okay. And I think I added or, and then I added a different sentence here. After escaping, he must take down the witches who created him before they do the same to others. So you want, some people have told me, like Hollywood schmo people have told me, you have to put the word must. You must use must. You have to use must. You don't have to. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's Tinker Toys. That's like basic bitch Hollywood writing. You don't must use must. Fuck that. No. Okay. But I tried using must in here to see if I can make it work. Let's find out. Sometimes must works, and it's actually a lot of times it does. That's why they're like, you have to use it. You don't have to. You can find other ways of saying must or implying that the character must do this or that. All right, here we go. Here's one that I got to after all this work. Okay. And I combined stuff from these other ones. And let's check out the language of this one. Let's see how this one goes. Fallen actor Max Spector thinks he's found the role to revive his career, but he's trapped by a powerful Hollywood witch and turned into a mindless zombie. See how it's a little more active? And now instead of just saying child star druggy actor, I'm saying his name, Max Spector. He thinks he's found the role to revive his career. That's a great language for a story about a guy who becomes a zombie and comes back to kill. He comes back from the dead. He's been revived, right? But he's trapped. So when you have a but, he's trapped. That turns the story, doesn't it? And that becomes more engaging for someone who's listening. Oh, he thinks he's getting a good movie role, but he's trapped by a powerful Hollywood witch. Oh, this is freaky. Okay, so now I think this is a little more engaging. This is a little more active language. See what we got going here? And he's turned into a mindless zombie. After being tortured for decades, Max must make a deal with the zombie queen to regain his mind and take his undead revenge. I mean, that's pretty good. It's all right. It's all right. Then I put, or after being tortured for decades, Max agrees to become the agent of the zombie queen to regain his mind and take his revenge, undead style. So there's all these different ones. I'm going to start writing a new one from all this because I still don't think this is good enough, guys. It ain't good enough. You always got to refine, always be refining, always. So fallen actor Max Spector thinks he's found the role to revive his career, but he's trapped by a powerful Hollywood witch and turned into a mindless zombie. After being tortured for decades, Max must make a deal with the zombie queen to regain his mind and take his undead revenge. How about just Max makes a deal with the zombie queen to regain his mind and comes to take his revenge? Take his revenge. Evenge. His revenge. Fallen actor Max Spector thinks he's found the role to revive his career, but he's trapped by a powerful Hollywood witch and turned into a mindless zombie. After being tortured for decades, Max makes a deal with the zombie queen to regain his mind and comes back for revenge. How about comes back for revenge? Because a lot of the themes in this are coming back. You want to come back, right? Your career needs a comeback. You come back from the dead. You're a zombie. You're back from the dead. I play a lot with that and it's really fun. So why not incorporate some of those themes and language into your log line? I think that's a good way to do a good log line that really represents what you're doing and selling to people. And you use that fun language to try to hook them. Now this seems better. I like this a little better. Um, it's a classic revenge style setup. It shows that he's going up against, intense odds, powerful Hollywood witch, turned into a mindless zombie, being tortured for decades, I would say, by the elites of Hollywood, comma. I'm sure Hollywood would love to see this log line, the people in Hollywood. I'm sure they love this shit. All right. Max makes a deal with the zombie queen to regain his mind and comes back for revenge. That's cool. That's all right. It's cool. So look at all the how I got here was I started up here, washed up ex-child star takes a shot at revival, only to be turned into a zombie slave, tortured by the elite Hollywood coven for decades, until his deal with the zombie queen breaks his trance and he comes back for revenge. Payback, undead style. So I used things from all these to get to this. And really what the art of log lining is finding those perfect words. You will refine your log line and be like, I don't need that word, or I should add a word here. And it becomes a real process of finding the perfect sentence that's easy for someone to read and understand and hopefully get hooked by it. Now, another tip I can give you is go online and look up log lines for popular movies that you like, popular movies that have been hits. Look up the log line for Jaws. Look up the log line for Aliens. Look up the log line for big movies that did really well and study them. Are they boring? Or is there something interesting to them? Is there a hook to them that really gets people interested? Remember, this log line, you can put it at the top of your comic book campaign and people will see it. And then from that log line alone, they might buy your book. They might want to know, or at least want to know more about your story. And then they will read on and check out your campaign some more. Okay. People want to be hooked on your idea. Your log line is your chance to get them to be hooked. Okay. And then below here, you see I have a pitch. That's different. This will be another video. This will be another video totally, because pitching is its own art form. Pitching is something that you have to practice, you have to learn, you have to learn. It's a form of persuasion. It's a form of activating imaginations. It just like the log line is, but it's different art. So we're going to focus on log lines here. As you can see, I wrote out these pitches that will help show people, I can practice them or I can think about them. And then when it comes time to pitch, I'm freaking ready, brah. I'm ready. But think of the log line as the mini pitch, the little mini like Derringer little gun in your pocket that you can just pull out and go, bam, my story is about this. What do you think? And you want it to be cool. I think you want it to sound stylish. You want it to sound entertaining. You want it to be engaging. You want it to have that hook. Okay. Have your main character, have their conflict, have the big stakes, have like what happens if they don't get what they want. Try to use names of characters to get people interested. Try to make in the end, what you're selling here, guys, is a concept. Hollywood will pay you $1 million just for your idea sometimes. And then, of course, they won't make the movie. They'll just option the idea because they think it's cool or whatever. They think it might work or might sell. Okay. You're selling an idea here and you want to do it in an engaging way. So hopefully this logline lesson helped you find your way a little bit. I'm still working on this logline. As you can see, look at all these different drafts. Look at this. This is crazy. This is craziness. But you know what? It's the type of work you have to do if you really want to make it as a storyteller, if you really want to make it as a writer and make people love what you do. You want to be able to communicate your ideas in a thoughtful, fun, engaging way. So does that help? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think. Happy to help you guys out with more tutorials in the future. I've got a lot of them to do. There's so much to what I do, and I want to share that with you so we can make better books, better indie comics, better stories. When I first started college, no one knew how to tell a story, and that was 2007. It's only gotten worse since then. It's an epidemic. We have a storytelling epidemic. You know what you lose when you don't know how to tell a story as a culture? You lose your wisdoms that get passed on. You lose your values that get passed on. You lose your history that gets passed on. You lose your mythology. You lose all the things that make you aspire towards greater things. And I almost think it's on purpose. I feel like another culture moved into our society and tried to take it over and make our whole society this radicalized, crazy culture that is now being adamantly rejected across the world, I might add. They are losing, my friends. And you know what? We're going to win with good stories. So I hope this helped you guys. I know it seems like a small thing, but a log line is not a small thing. If you can tell your story in a really interesting, entertaining way that sells it in one sentence, that is power, my friends. That is art. Work hard at it. Do a lot of drafts like this. Combine things from different drafts that you like that work. See if you can make a cool log line out of it. Make a little, Frankenstein log line. Put it together. Make it great. Make it exciting. And I promise you, the fans will love it and the fans will buy your book. All right, guys? All right. I'm going to see you on the next one. I appreciate you tuning in. This means a lot. Please like and subscribe and all that shit. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Take care.
Von's Haunted Castle.